Think saving money on a tight budget is impossible? Stick with us, and we'll show you simple strategies to build your savings, even on a low income.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're tackling something that I know a lot of us think about, especially when we're trying to, make ends meet.
Saving money.
Exactly. Saving money, but like on a real budget.
Yeah, it can feel like a real uphill battle sometimes.
Totally. But, the good news is as possible. We're going to, dig into it today with this article, How to Save Money on a Low Income. Sounds pretty promising, huh?
It does, yeah. A lot of these tips, they apply, no matter what your income level is.
That's true. That's true.
Sure.
So let's jump right in. So right off the bat, this article, it mentions the 50-30-20 rule, which, we've all probably heard of.
Yeah.
50% of your income to needs, 30 to wants, and 20 to savings.
Mm-hmm.
And
what struck me about the article is how it really kind of debunks this myth that the 50-30-20 rule is just for, those high earners.
right.
It really emphasizes that even adjusting those percentages slightly, if that's all you can manage, can make a difference.
Totally. It's about that awareness, right? It's not like a one size fits all. You got to hit these numbers perfectly.
Exactly. It's more about understanding where your money's going. It's about, taking control and making informed choices.
I like that. Taking control, it's empowering. And speaking of taking control, one thing this article really stresses is cutting those like sneaky expenses, right? The ones that really add up without us even realizing it.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Those subscriptions, right?
Yes, the subscription.
Streaming services, those monthly boxes.
Yeah, you sign up for something and then you totally forget about it.
Exactly. And it's like $10 here, $15 there.
It adds up so fast.
It does. But
Yeah.
even just taking the time to go through and cancel the ones you don't use, that can make a real difference. And, the article also mentions being smart about finding alternatives.
Yeah, like maybe instead of cable, you switch to a more affordable streaming service.
Exactly. Or maybe you find discounts or use coupons more often. It all makes a difference.
And, it's funny you mention that because I feel like sometimes we can get discouraged thinking, oh, saving like $5 here, there, like, is that really going to make a difference? Right. But it's those little things that add up over time.
Exactly. Even if you just save an extra $10 a month, that's $120 a year.
It's true. It's true. Speaking of making small changes, I really like that the article talked about the importance of like automating your savings. Because let's face it, life gets busy.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so easy to say, oh, I'll put some money in savings later. And then, something comes up or you just,
You forget. Yeah.
exactly. But with automating, you don't even have to think about it.
It's it just happens, like magic. And you know what else I love? Those apps, those roundup apps,
Yes, those are great.
where they just round up your purchase to the nearest dollar and then invest that spare change.
Yeah, it's such a painless way to save, right?
Yeah.
You don't even notice it.
I know, it's brilliant.
It is. All right, so shifting gears a little bit, the article also talks a lot about food,
Mm.
which, let's be honest, is a huge expense for most of us.
Oh, definitely.
And it really emphasizes the importance of, cooking in home more. I know for some people it feels intimidating or
And
overwhelming,
I think it can be, yeah.
but it really doesn't have to be. And, even if you're not a master chef,
You don't have to be.
there are so many simple and delicious recipes out there. Like, what are some of your go-to, like, easy meal prep ideas? Because I know you're big on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I always say start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Maybe pick 1 or 2 days a week to cook larger batches of things like, grains like quinoa or rice or beans, roasted veggies, things like that. And then you can easily mix and match those throughout the week with different sauces or fresh ingredients, for variety.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And it's so much cheaper than, like, grabbing takeout every night after work.
Yeah, definitely.
And speaking of things that can help, the article also brings up assistance programs like SNAP and food banks.
Right, right. And I think it's important to remember that there's no shame in seeking help if you need it.
Absolutely. There are resources available, and using them is smart,
Exactly. It's about being resourceful.
right?
Right.
And, on that note, the article also talks about side hustles.
Yes. Side hustles are great. I mean, think about it. You probably have skills and hobbies that you could turn into a source of income.
Totally. And with the internet, it's never been easier to find opportunities.
Exact.
Like you could do freelance work, sell crafts online, teach music lessons.
Help dogs, So many possibilities.
So true. Now, before we wrap up, the article also mentions a few other key strategies, like negotiating bills, which, let's be honest, not a lot of people think to do.
I know, right? But you'd be surprised how often companies are willing to work with you.
Yet it never hurts to ask, right?
Exactly.
And I love that it also talks about finding free or low cost entertainment options.
Oh, yeah, because entertainment doesn't have to break the bank.
Right, like checking out local events, visiting parks,
Libraries, museums on free admission days.
so many options. But of all the tips in the article, I have to say the two that really stood out to me were about building an emergency fund and considering a high yield savings account.
Those are so important.
Because an emergency fund, even if it's small, can really provide peace of mind, if something unexpected comes up.
Exactly. It's like a safety net.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that a high yield savings account, while it might not make you rich overnight, it helps your money grow faster than a traditional savings account.
Yeah, and over time, that can really add up.
It really can. It's funny going through this article and talking about all these tips, it makes me realize that saving money, it's not just about the numbers.
No, it's not. It's about mindset, too.
It's about resourcefulness.
Yeah.
It's about making conscious choices that align with your values.
Absolutely. It's about finding that balance between enjoying life and planning for the future.
I love that. Well said. Well, that's about all the time we have for today's. Hopefully, this conversation is giving you some food for thought and, more importantly, some actionable steps to take control of your finances.
Remember, every little bit counts. Even small changes can lead to big results over time.
So true. And if this sparks some ideas for you, we'd love to hear about it. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep on saving.